earning a lifetime of customer loyalty. And for the same, I would like to introduce this speaker. With over 20 years of professional experience, Sonalika is a principal consultant at Salesforce and bring a robust background in CRM, digital marketing and e-commerce and loyalty. In her current role, she works closely with clients across in shaping their customer-centric strategies and implementing tech roadmaps. Prior to Salesforce, Sonalika has worked with organizations like Cognizant and Epsilon, where her journey had been diverse and impactful. She has led practices across consulting, pre-sales, and delivering, collaborating with prominent global brands to build a more holistic understanding of their customers and, in process, develop a stronger brand recall. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Ms. Sonalika Sarna, Digital Experience SME at Salesforce. Let's have a huge round of applause for Ms. Sonalika Sarna.
Hi everyone. Good morning. Am I audible? Great. Thank you, Anand. That was, I can't find you here, but I think he touched upon a lot of great things which in our world of tech we sometimes lose focus on. We start treating loyalty as a mechanism, as a method, as a program, and I think if you just remove and take a step back and you take a look at the customer lens like he did, right? I think that's really, really cool. So in the next 20 minutes that I have, what I'll try to do is, I'll try to share a point of view that we think we've observed by working with clients across the globe, some research, some observations as a loyalty member myself on how do organizations view loyalty, what are the different kinds of loyalty, how do customers view loyalty? What do they want from loyalty? And maybe try and bring the worlds together. So 3 things, of course, discussing the approach, discussing the tech, and then we'll try and give you a sneak peek on if you want to bridge the gap between the customers and the organizations, how does a platform come into play and help you do that? So let me start with some faces that everybody will recognize. I hope you recognize the gentleman on the screen. And he said a very interesting thing, that we want Prime to be of such high value that you will be irresponsible not to be a part of it. Now, it's a very simple and profound statement, but what he really is trying to say that bring so much value to a program, that it adds so much value to your customer, that in turn, they come back and add value to your business. So, and you may not even realize, but yes, Prime is the largest loyalty program in the world and you shell money to be a part of it. And on the other extreme is this gentleman who focused his life on building such a great product that loyalty just followed. Now, you could be on the either end of this spectrum or this spectrum, but the common thing between both these businesses, both these gentlemen, is customer obsession. They were obsessed by customers, they were obsessed by their needs, and like he said, you create that need. So, what does that leave us with? There are 2 principles, but I think the common thing, like I said, is customer obsession. The common thing is that you have to make customer the center of your universe if there is to be loyalty to your brand. And it does not mean a program. It not only means a good product, but it means that the entire organization rallies behind this concept that yes, the customer is the central focus of your product, of the experience you want to deliver, of the loyalty program that you want to deliver. And what it really means is your sales, your service, your marketing, your IT, your operations, everybody has to rally around the person in the center, which is customer. And when I, as a customer, talk to your organization, it also means that I want consistent experiences. Now, when I say I want customer experiences, it means that I've gone to your website, I've selected some products, I've called your call center to find something about your products, and then I reintroduce myself and I say I was looking for those products, and then there is this slight drop in customer experience. So as a customer, Your organization to me is one entity. But internally, your organization is so many departments, so many people. And all you have to do is make sure that everybody is on the same page when it comes to customer experience and customer obsession. Easier said than done. I see a lot of heads nodding, and I see some expressions which say easier said than done. I know it's easier said than done because I work with clients day in and day out to do that. And the challenges that organizations like yours share with us at Salesforce is, in the real world, in a store, my competition is not walking into my store and offering an alternate product to my customer. But when they are on my website, there is the competition in the next tab. What do I do about it? It's not simple. It's not as easy. Then customer loyalty is fickle because there is the competition looming right over your head, and it is one bad experience, very simple to switch. Then a lot of my understanding about the customer is because of that third-party data that I've been so used to collecting. Okay, she or he came on my website, she walked into my store, she looked at my promotion, and then they went somewhere else. So I know this customer is deeply interested, but that knowledge is also going to go away next year. So I don't know enough about my customers. How do I really fight with the competition or personalize or bring my departments together? That's a challenge. And finally, the biggest challenge is skill. The biggest challenge is how do you make your organization come on a same platform, share information, have proper handoffs. So that is also a challenge. So while customer expectations are very high, for them it is very simple. I'm talking to brand A, just talk to me back like an organization. Don't tell me there are multiple departments. But the organization like yours is really struggling with these challenges. So what I try to do is distill down on three simple priorities. Yes, we know everything is very complex and tough to bring together, but if we were to simplify, and I just wanted, like people tend to recall 1, 2, 3, so I have 3 fundamentals here. The one is every individual is unique. If you just remember that principle and try to implement it in your daily business and tech, I think things become very simple, which means just try to know them better. At every point in time when a customer talks to you, collect something about them, know something about them. I think the problem is reversed today. There is so much data, it is hard to understand that customer. The second is, no matter what, deliver a memorable experience. Your endeavor should be wow them everywhere. And the third is, everybody can launch a loyalty program, but can you build an emotional bond beyond the loyalty program? And loyalty is always going to be rational and emotional. So rational is very mathematical. You give me 10 rupees, I give you 10 points. But will you give me those 10 rupees back is where the emotional bit comes in. And every organization should focus on delivering that. That I am loyal to your brand, why don't you reciprocate that loyalty? And what we'll do now is, just keeping these 3 simple basics or fundamentals in mind, I'll just try and pivot to the fact that if you were to know your customers better, if you were to wow them everywhere, and if you were to reciprocate this loyalty, what is it that technology can do for you? Technology is an enabler. And I can think of another quote is, by Steve Jobs is that you first focus on the customer, technology will follow. It cannot be the other way around, and that's a mistake that a lot of us make when we are designing CX strategies. So going back to know your customer better, and we all know, I don't think I really need to harp on this, that sales has a view, commerce has a view, store has a view. Now, is it really that difficult to pull all that together? Now, I do have multiple sources of data. All you need to do is understand what that data is trying to tell you. Decipher it, unify it, and then segment them. Which means, don't treat the person next to me like me, right? And that's all you need to do. And honestly, the data puzzle is not so complicated. I think it just takes a concerted effort and data strategy that you have those data sources, decide what's meaningful to you, infer from data. I've made 50 transactions with you. All you need to know is, what is my lifetime value? What is the product that I have most frequently purchased? Where have I purchased? And if you've given me an offer on that product, Where have I accessed that offer? And it's good enough for you to send a personalized communication or tailor my experience or tell your service department that this is a high lifetime value customer. When they call, pick up the phone, no questions asked, exchange the product. So loyalty starts with data. It starts with understanding your customer. But the second step really is to democratize what you know about the customer, make sure data is simple enough for each of those touch points to consume. And then whenever I talk to you as a customer, I will feel special because I'm not reintroducing myself. You know my preferences and you are delivering value to me across those touch points. And there are ways and means to do that. You do not have to limit value to loyalty programs. Value also means that I get great customer service. Value also means that I'm informed about, let's say my points are about to expire, right? I'm a gold member. You tell me my points are going to expire. So there are so many touch points where you can make a memorable experience. I'll probably skip that. So finally, if I have to really distill down the first two things that I told you about, which is collect the data, personalize the experience, and if I have to give you a very, very simplified, may not look so simplified, tech view of if you were to use technology as an enabler, how would you do this? You would do this by bringing together all your data sources, and this is a tech view that a platform like Salesforce can do for you. So you bring your data together, you build that unified profile of the customer, which honestly is not so difficult. And once you have that unified profile of your customer, you understand that person better, you use that as an input to your loyalty. You use that as an input to your marketing, your service, your sales, and then the channel just follows. You can surface these insights at the POS of your stores. You can surface these insights when you're sending an email or a WhatsApp communication to me. You can surface these insights that next time I log on to your website, the website just reflects my needs. So it is possible to build such an ecosystem if you just leverage technology as an enabler, because again, in spite of all the tech from left to right, the customer is still at the center. Now let's talk about the last bit, which is the loyalty bit. So we know the customer better, we've personalized, but then there is an ammunition that you have, which is loyalty. So I'm sure all of you who are here today are here for a reason, because you are here to learn about loyalty programs. We'll get to that as well. But I think there are two lenses to loyalty, which is rational, which means you give me something and I give you something in return. But then there's, like I was saying, an emotional bit of it, which is the experiential bit of it. Now, some of the examples, and when I was studying loyalty programs, there are a couple of things that I came about. The first thing is, like the Apple example, nothing replaces quality. And I think Anand talked beautifully about it. Get your product right. And once you get the product right, the trust builds up. And trust is a very big form of loyalty. The other things that build emotional loyalty is we often forget that if I'm using a product, I'm really interested on reviews, how others are doing, using the product, who are like-minded people, can we come together and do something? So building a community around your product, and I think Apple is a great example. You are an Apple user, I'm an Apple user, and we'll talk about the new iOS upgrade, good or bad, we'll have a conversation. So community really helps in building emotional bonds when it comes to loyalty. And the final thing is, in today's world, I've seen every brand talk about, all industry leaders that I meet, that values is a very big thing. And somebody of my age probably doesn't think twice about it, but I think today people relate. At a Starbucks, when they've written, bring your own cup to Starbucks, people do go to Starbucks, and they like the fact that sustainability, green, reusability, vegan, cruelty-free, these are real things. So people do buy brands that share values. So while we are in the business of tech, all of us, we are in the business of enabling loyalty programs, I think quality plus how do you bring those shared values to the forefront also fosters a lot of loyalty. So I'd just leave you with this thought. This is by the marketing guru, Seth Godin. I don't know how many of you have heard of him, but he does say a lot of profound things. And like he says, persistent, consistent, and frequent stories. You tell me what you want me to hear about your brand. You say that repeatedly, but tell the next person some other stories. And people will come back to brands. People will ensure that, they transact with your business and they get value in exchange. So just to summarize, we spoke about 3 things, which is knowing, delivering memorable experiences, and then building those emotional bonds. And like I said, technology is an enabler in doing all of this. There is so much that you can do with people. There is so much training that you can give to people. But yes, if you have consistent tech across your touch points, how does it really help? My colleague Mansi is going to show you that in action. And with that, I'll take your leave. Thank you.
Functionality to create this basic process of managing their tiers based on what points they have. And even a business user can have access to this. You do not need tech support, or you do not need a specialist to do that. Even as a loyalty marketing manager, you can create a basic tier management system within your organization. So if I say, all I have to do is, I have to define what these tiers are, what is the eligibility for this tier, and the moment that I say create, the system is going to create an entire process of changing that tier of the eligible members based on what is the qualifying balance. So everything the system takes care of with a simple click. Within a matter of few minutes, you're able to create a basic traditional framework for your loyalty to run. Now that you get past that, you've created the basic framework, you have your tiers and everything in place. Now you can truly move on to the well-rounded experience that we were talking about, right? And so, so one more thing, for instance, if you have, like the benefits that we are talking about. Now, why would a customer aspire to be a gold member or a platinum member? Because there are benefits that are associated with those tiers. So what the system helps you do is, it helps you create those benefits. It helps you tie those benefits back to whatever tiers that you've created. And automatically, so for instance, if I am a gold member, the moment I rise up to that level, automatically I have, say, a benefit like free delivery. This is just an example I've set up to help you understand what are the kind of benefits that come, that you can create. But of course, you can have your own benefits that are set up. Now, once you have this basic traditional setup in place, now comes the part where you can truly drive, you can truly have that data-driven loyalty in place, right? Now, the advantage of our loyalty engine being on that data layer is that you have access to all of this data, like what the customer is, where they're from, their personal information, their propensity, understanding of their propensity, how engaged they are with your brand, because that's also very important, right? They might have made purchases in the past, and let's say they're not engaged with you for the last couple of years, right? So that also is an important factor to consider when you're taking into account who are your loyal customers, who are your premier customers, or who should be the audience for whatever you're planning to launch. Then, of course, because you're sitting on this gold mine of data, you have all the data available. You can not just access that information directly, you can actually derive insights out of that information, right? So like over here, if you see, based on whatever they were browsing on the website or what they've purchased over the years, the system is able to create affinities. Customer affinities, like what is their affinity? For instance, if it is a beauty website, right? I've taken that example. So you have affinities like categories, like whether they're interested in skincare, or they're interested in makeup, or they're interested in hair products. So from here you understand that they're interested in skincare, and you understand they're interested in anti-aging products. So probably somebody who's middle-aged, right? So these kind of things you can understand. You can even understand what are the channels they're interested in. You even understand what have been their last activities, when did they place their last order, when did they interact with you or your service team. So all of that information, now that you truly know the customer better, now is the time to, and you understand that these are your premier customers, now is the time to truly reciprocate this loyalty, right? So, and now how do you do that? Say for instance, when you're launching a new product, you're launching a new skincare product, and you want to give exclusive access to all your gold members, right? So now what do? You have all the data, you understand their affinities. So now first and foremost, you create a target audience. So the system gives you a simple UI to even create that. Like I said repeatedly, that this platform, the entire platform, is for business users. It's business user friendly. Any marketing or loyalty manager can create these cohorts, can launch these campaigns, and can create this entire loyalty framework. So now over here, I'm creating a custom audience. I'm creating an audience of all the gold tier members who are interested in skincare, right? So I'm checking what are their product affinities. If their product affinities skincare, then add them to this cohort. If they are a gold member, add them to this cohort. Now, I don't just want to add my premier members, I also want to see if they've been active members, right? They could be a gold member based on their purchases over the last few years, but if they're not active right now, I probably want to exclude them for this exclusive promotion, because I want to benefit people who are consistently engaged with me. So now I check what their website engagement is, if they've done any transaction in the last 3 months, and I create this cohort, right? So now I have my target audience for this new product campaign launch that I'm doing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, and all this you can do from the same platform. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a marketing campaign for that new skincare product launch, and I'm going to promote that product, right? So now I'm sending that communication to my target audience. Now I have the ability to truly nudge them and nudge them towards making that purchase. So I have everything that I need to do that in one platform. You send them an email if you want. If you think they're not responding to that email, you can reach out to them on WhatsApp. You can reach out to them on the app that you have. If your organization has an app, you can nudge them on the app as well to send an in-app message or a notification. All of that can be done to nudge them towards buying that product, right? Of course, there are a lot of things you do in parallel, right? Now, you could also have leveraged an influencer to promote that product, right? So you have an influencer also talking about your product. Maybe there's a specific discount involved with this. If they use that discount in purchase, now you can also reward that influencer for marketing your product, right? So, and all that, by the way, can be managed within this framework. Now that you've, created this product promotion, now what do you want to do, right? I also have to be incentivized to buy that product. Yes, it's a new product. Yes, I've got exclusive launch. Now you can take it one step ahead. Now, how do you take it one step ahead? That if they maybe buy this product, this newly launched product, I maybe want to give them a 500 rupees voucher on the next purchase, right? We all have these kind of experiences with brands. So now the system also lets you set that up. Now how will you do that, right? So system has a very simple UI to manage even that kind of a promotion. So any promotion that you want to create, like for this particular promotion, you have 4 very simple steps. Your first step is you define what is that promotion, from when to when you want to run it, right? Simple, it's just a simple criteria of date range, right? Now, once you've set up from when to when this promotion is going to run, now your second step is, what are the products that are applicable for this promotion? Now, because you will have hundreds and thousands of transactions happening on your website, now you need to only apply this promotion to those few transactions which are of that particular product. And what are the tiers applicable? Like over here, we are creating a promotion for only the gold tier members. So we specify that that's what we are creating. That's the audience we are creating the promotion for. And the third step is the reward. What is the reward you're going to give them? Are you going to give them a discount voucher? Or you're going to give them a cashback? Or you're going to give them some points based on the transaction that they've done? And that's it. The fourth step is just activate. And within a couple of minutes, an entire loyalty scheme is activated, rolled out, and is live for all your customers. And how do you do that? So I'm just going to give you like a flavor of how you create it on the screen, on the system, on the application. It's truly that simple. So I go to my promotion. I say what is the activity it's applicable to. Now, activity also is of significance when you're thinking of gamification. Now, for instance, I can reward them for things like, did you complete your profile, right? Because I want to encourage them to share more information with me. So there can be different activities that I'm rewarding them for. So in this particular case, I'm rewarding them for a purchase. It could be a referral, it could be a social media share, it could be anything that I can reward them for. So now if I'm rewarding them for a purchase, I will define what is that activity. I'm rewarding them for a purchase. Now what is the date range of that scheme or that promotion that I'm running? Now, once I have that in place, now I want to specify that this promotion is only eligible for gold members. So if you see, this is a very simple, intuitive UI that any loyalty or marketing manager can use. So once we have now we have a promotion set up, we have our eligibility criteria set up, now comes the reward, the third step that we spoke about. Now there are different kind of rewards that you can issue from within the system. Either you give them points for this particular transaction, or like I mentioned, you can issue them a discount voucher wherein they have like a 500 rupee voucher on their next purchase or a 200 rupee voucher on their next purchase, however you want to run it. And that also very simply you can select. So now if over here, I just selected that suppose if they make a 100 rupee purchase, they get 50% of that back as points. Like if they did a purchase of 100 in this particular case, they're going to get 50 points in their wallet. You can very well give them a discount voucher as well. And that's it. You review what is your promotion, what is the promotion that you've created, and everything is in simple English, legible for any business user to understand as to what they've created, and that's it. You activate, your promotion is live, everything is active, people will start earning those points based on that purchase, and you can roll out n number of schemes and really gamify the whole process as a result. Now, one of the other things that we can also do is the system is capable of handling not just this B2C loyalty, you can have different layers of loyalty embedded. Like we spoke about, if there's an influencer who's also involved in this, right? Now, what if this purchase that the user ends up making is a result of that influencer, right? So the system has a very easy mechanism where you can have that layer also set up in the system. Like for instance, over here, for every transaction, it will look up who is the influencer that code that they've used is associated. Suppose if I use a code Mansi 10, right, which is Mansi 10. I'm an influencer and I'm using the code Mansi 10. So that means I'm going to get 10% discount off that. So the system will simply look up who's the influencer associated with that discount code and give the points, right? So essentially, every single layer of loyalty, every single step of loyalty, it can be multi-layered, it can be B2B, it can be B2C, it can be B2B2C, but everything right from their engagement to running schemes for them, to running promotions and offers, everything resides in the same system, and you can truly, truly leverage that data to build a well-rounded loyalty. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope that helped.
Well, indeed, it was very uplifting session. Thank you so much, ma'am. I would request you to kindly join us on stage. And now I would request Mr. Biswajit Datta, Head of CRM and Loyalty, Metro Brands Limited, to kindly join us and felicitate Ms. Sonalika Sarna and Ms. Mansi Durga. Let's have a huge round of applause.